All right, let's talk about something you see every single day but probably never, ever think about: the humble streetlight. Turns out these things we totally take for granted have some massive, hidden potential just waiting to be unlocked by AI.
I mean, they're everywhere, right? Lining our roads, lighting up our parks, kind of standing guard over our neighborhoods. They give us that feeling of safety when it gets dark. But this silent network is hiding a pretty big and pretty inefficient secret.
And there it is. For decades, the system has been incredibly simple, and you know what? Incredibly wasteful. They just switch on at a set time and switch off at a set time. It doesn't matter if it's a deserted street at 3 a.m. or rush hour. That constant brute force approach just burns a staggering amount of energy for no reason. And this isn't just about wasting power and money. This old school model actually creates a few huge problems. It's inefficient, of course, but it's also totally unresponsive to what's actually happening on the street. And when things go wrong, it can become seriously unsafe. Just think about how we fix a broken streetlight right now. You or I have to notice it's out, we have to call the city, and then we just wait. It's a slow, reactive process that can leave a whole area in the dark for days, maybe even weeks. The smart way? The light sends a message the second it has a problem. Hey, I'm broken. Instantly.
And this, right here, shows you exactly what's at stake. On the left, you've got this pocket of darkness. It's a hazard for drivers and, frankly, a little bit scary. But on the right, a well-lit street is a safe street. I mean, the difference is literally night and day.
Okay, so this is where it gets really, really cool. To solve these problems, researchers are going way beyond just simple timers or sensors. They're actually figuring out a way to give streetlights the ability to see, using AI and cameras that, in many cases, are already there. And the idea is actually pretty genius in its simplicity. You take the video feed from a normal CCTV camera, which, let's be honest, is often mounted on the very same pole, and you feed that video into a powerful AI. There's no need to install a ton of expensive new gear. You're just leveraging what the city already has.
Now, the magic behind this is a tech called semantic segmentation. It sounds super complicated, but the idea is actually pretty simple. You know how some AI will just draw a box around a car and say, car? Well, this goes way deeper. It's like the AI takes a set of digital crayons and colors in every single pixel of the image. This little pixel is part of a person, this one is part of the road, that one's a car. It creates this incredibly detailed, color-coded map of exactly what's going on. And check this out. This is the perfect before and after. On the left, that's what the camera sees. On the right, that's what the AI sees after it's done its coloring job. See that? Pedestrians, cars, the road itself, everything is perfectly categorized. The AI isn't just looking at the scene, it's genuinely understanding it.
So what does the AI do with this new superpower? Well, the logic is really straightforward. First, it just looks at the overall brightness to figure out if it's day or night. Then, it uses that detailed map to see if there are any cars or people around. If there's activity, boom, lights go to 100% brightness for maximum safety. But if the street is totally empty, it dims the lights down to, say, 50%, saving a ton of power. But it's ready to flick back to full brightness in a split second.
And here's the proof that it actually works. This is an image from the research. You can clearly see the AI has correctly tagged the person in green and the car in red. So this isn't science fiction, you know? This is real applied technology that's ready to be rolled out.
So, we've seen the tech, and it's awesome. But what happens when you take this kind of intelligence out of the lab and you deploy it across an entire city, or even an entire country? Well, the impact is absolutely staggering.
Let's start with a big number. 12,785,297. That is how many smart LED streetlights have been put up across India under their national program. We're talking about a massive countrywide infrastructure upgrade.
And those nearly 13 million lights? They lead to some mind-blowing savings every single year. Just look at this chart. That first bar, that's almost 8.6 times billion units of energy saved. The middle one, a reduction of nearly 6 million tons of CO2. And that last bar, that's the bottom line. Over 5,600 crore rupees saved. These are transformational numbers.
And the great thing is, you don't have to be a whole country to see these benefits. It scales down perfectly. Just take the city of Pune. In the very first year of their smart streetlight project, they saved 17.3 million kilowatts-hours of energy. It just goes to show that any city, big or small, can get a huge return from this.
But hey, saving energy and knowing when a light is broken is really just the beginning. The next level for this tech is even smarter. It's not just about knowing a light is out, it's about understanding how much that failure actually matters.
Think about it this way. One broken light on a street, it's an inconvenience. But 2, 3, 4 broken lights all in a row, now you've got a seriously dangerous stretch of pure darkness. The risk just multiplies with every light that fails. A truly smart system has to understand that context. And this is how it does it. When a light fails, the AI basically becomes a detective. It doesn't just send a generic alert. First, it asks, okay, are the lights next to this one working? Then it checks traffic data. Is this a busy highway or a quiet little side street? And based on all that info, it assigns a severity level. A single outage on a quiet street, that's a low. But 3 in a row on a major road, that becomes a high-severity alert that gets bumped right to the top of the to-do list for the repair crews.
So we started with a simple light on a pole, and we've ended up with an intelligent, responsive piece of a smart city grid, one that saves energy, makes maintenance a breeze, and actively makes our streets safer. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? If we can make our streetlights this smart, what will we upgrade next?